Yeah.
Oh, shoot. About that time. Boy.
Beautiful. Good day.
Hey,
Good
we
tomorrow. Happy football.
We're
we
here
on?
again.
We're on?
Everything is up.
See how it says
All
stop
right.
streaming.
Been a
That means
minute.
we started
Oh,
streaming.
oh, my bad.
Oh, yeah.
My bad. It's been a minute.
It's all good. You can knock
Since
first
the
off.
Super-
We got time.
Yeah.
Super Bowl's the
Since a
last
Super Bowl.
Oh, it's been that long.
7 months.
And now we all have a chance again.
Woof.
So beautiful.
You said have a chance again. Who? What you mean?
I thought,
You know,
I really
everybody.
Hey, look, we all on the same level.
Everybody in this room has a chance except
you like flowers?
you.
Like the flowers.
I should put some flowers on your grave because your team dead already.
Yeah,
We beat y'all every year, though.
That don't mean nothing. Congratulations.
I mean, they ain't dead already.
I mean, if we all go end up sitting on the couch,
Don't give them a shot.
Bro, stop playing. The Commanders?
we got a shot to beat
To make the playoffs?
Boy, stop.
Definitely got a shot to beat the playoffs.
Stop. No,
We
you
got a
do
shot.
not.
A shot.
Bro, no. Hell no.
Shot, for sure.
Absolutely not.
We have a bunch of question marks. There are a lot of things that could go right, a lot of things that could go
A
wrong.
bunch of question marks where?
We don't know what our rookie quarterback going to be.
Man, you starting there already? That's what the first question mark is?
You know,
At the quarterback.
I see it.
Okay.
I feel like I've seen at least a strong
You
foundation.
see nothing, bro. It's the preseason.
That's why I mentioned him first as question mark.
Okay.
We have new starting linemen. Our line allowed 60-plus sacks last year. Again, big question mark, right? All right. We have new pass rushers on the outside. We still got great tandem on the inside.
These are essential pieces to a team. I just want to let you know.
And I feel like we have the most answers about our secondary, at least being questionable at best.
That's going to get the job done.
No, it's not.
Well,
Not as of right now. We got to see what is.
So you have questions at quarterback, offensive line, and the front four.
I wasn't done.
Oh, okay.
All right. So De'Ami Brown has not been nothing for some years, and suddenly he's a starting wide receiver along with another rookie in Luke McCaffrey.
So unprovenness at wide receiver too. Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
So again, we don't know what they all going to be.
Okay.
Odds are it's not going to be great, but there's a chance.
Look, if y'all get to the playoffs,
does this sound like a playoff team?
Hold on. They get hold on, but if it get to the playoffs, it's because their defense forces turnovers.
Great linebackers.
It's because Jaden Daniels has an RG3 type of rookie season.
Man, it's on the table.
And Brian Robinson does what Alfred Morris did, running for 1,300 yards.
Dang, that's the bar you setting? He's not doing
I'm saying that's
now we're splitting carries with Austin Eckler for one.
But Austin Eckler ain't getting the majority of the running back carry.
Alfred Morris had a good 1,500, 16.
That's why I said 12 or 13.
Oh, I thought you said like season. When I say like season, that was a
big it was a big season, but I'm saying he needs 12 or 13.
For me, again, to have questions at quarterback, offensive line, and at edge rusher getting after the quarterback, that doesn't sound like a playoff team.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Do we get all of your Commanders?
Cleveland Farrell is arguably their most talented player.
Stop.
I'm good.
Hey, we don't need to talk to him for the rest of the show. He got it all out of his system.
I'm good.
We should. It's the fact that we opened the show with these crap.
Because of your attitude, there was no need.
It's the fact that we opened the show with this. With Commanders.
Jaden, handle your business.
Being said,
Jesus.
What up?
My God.
To OutSpoken Network.
You know how many people left when they heard we were talking about the Commanders? Like, oh,
I wish we could tell. I would have let us see the metrics. We ain't see them.
Say welcome into the
Commander state. I meant that's it.
2024
the team is going to disappoint
you. It's always the end.
You lying to yourself.
Season. Where all hope clearly is alive. Especially with my man, Mr. Stanley, already talking some Ghost Steelers. You can go ahead for that.
Yeah, you can have that.
Go ahead.
Still, that logo is still the logo.
Better franchise in the NFL.
Absolutely.
I respect the franchise. I don't respect the team as it is constructed.
I definitely respect that defense.
Their depth is not that.
I definitely respect.
And
oh my God.
All right.
So you did.
Let him open the show with
Nah. You started.
I don't see an issue.
Whatever. Y'all let him start the show with this mess.
All right.
Where's the Eric?
I'll cherish the
Hey,
forever.
watch me. So Michael Penix do
Can't get
No, we'll start there. Since we have a Steeler fan watching and enjoying, oh hell no, Jeremy with this Daniel Jones MVP foolishness.
What the hell?
This man tried to convince me to trade Mahomes or start Daniel Jones over Mahomes in fantasy league.
This is the time of hope.
It really is.
Hope's up.
Hey, look, Daniel Jones got a playoff win.
Everybody got their hopes up.
I guess the hopes.
Bring that up.
I guess the hopes are going to be dashed when the Bucks.
They scored 13.
When the Bucks win,
scored like 30. So
I guess the hopes are going to be dashed when the Bucks win 31-7 this week.
31-7. That's your prediction.
31-10. I'll give you guys a go.
Oh, that's so sweet.
No.
So if the Commanders win, what you gonna do?
But if what?
he gonna buy you lunch.
I bet.
I bet a breakfast.
Ain't even worth son. Ain't betting nothing, bro. I don't want to take nothing from you. I ain't gonna take your food from you.
Samaritan.
I just want you to.
Since we have
and the sweetness of your flowers.
We have these guys in here. Dayball calling the plays now. All right, he's gonna be Josh. All right,
he's gonna be what?
Calm down, Jeremy.
He's gonna be what?
Okay.
He said Dayball. So, I don't know if that's disrespectful to Josh, or if that is.
You don't know.
That's way too much respect for Dayball. Like I don't know which way to go about this, or maybe it's both.
But I would.
Was Dayball your best play caller as a Bills fan?
I think that Joe will be at equal level with him. But yes,
you think he will, but he hasn't yet.
He hasn't yet. So Dayball is the best of recent memory.
I think Joe will surpass him. I'm just that high on Joe Brady.
We'll see. And before Dayball, I have to go back.
Remember,
to
Joe Brady was with the Panthers. They ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about, man?
I want to, since we have it's a little active in here, what I do want to do, we'll start to kick it off with the Steelers. Let's talk Steelers-Falcons.
Oh, man.
You got a Steelers fan on right now.
Too big dog.
It's a good. We lining it up.
Man, this is still brand new, ain't it? No.
I ain't never felt like
right. We don't have this type of attention.
Not since 2016.
Hey, boy.
How many points y'all putting up?
31. You know what? 27.
I was going to say around. I was going to say between
JJ playing, right?
Yeah. He's played in other games that got blew out, but the offense ain't good.
I just want to put out there. Hold on, I just want to put out. They did give up 30 to the Niners in the season.
That's what I'm saying.
You know,
right. As I definitely respect the Steelers. And their defense, the way their defense is constructed, right? There's very little question marks on that defense. TJ is going to be TJ. Cam Hayward's going to be Cam. Alex Highsmith is going to be Alex Highsmith. I think Joey Porter could definitely potentially be an All-Pro this year. Patrick Queen in the middle of that defense, definitely that's another playmaker, and they arguably have the best free safety in the game in Mika Fitzpatrick. The other side of the ball is where the questions come into play.
That's why I'm like, I don't think that they're going to put the Steelers defense in good shape. I feel as though somebody's going to turn the ball over.
That's fair.
2 times. You know what I'm saying? And I feel as though it's just going to create easy opportunities for y'all. I don't think that y'all going to be coming out guns a-blazing. But there'll be a flow.
No.
Bajan will be Bajan. It's going to be interesting to see if London or Pitts is the focal point of the offense. Kirk used TJ Hockenson well when he was in Minnesota. We're going to see what Kyle Pitts becomes. But I definitely don't trust Russell Wilson or Justin Fields after seeing the preseason. You know, again, it's preseason, but it just looked a little rigid.
And
I don't trust it.
And again, it's also because we're familiar with Arthur Smith, of course. He was our head coach for the last 3 years, so we know what his MO is in terms of play calling, what he does, what he likes, his tendencies, and things of that nature. There's some question marks with that because even as a head coach, I question his ability as a play caller. So now, where he's in Pittsburgh, where there's so much uncertainty at quarterback. There's new starters on the O-line. There's guys who are making their first start in this game on the interior O-line. And then they still don't have wide receiver 2 shored up, right? Right now, Van Jefferson is their wide receiver 2.
Roman Wilson been a little hurt throughout the preseason and training camp.
But it's like,
it could be that. Who knows?
I do think the Falcons win, but I don't think it's one of those things where it's like they completely wipe the Steelers off the field. I think it's one of those games where it's a little slow for both. But the talent for the Falcons, I think, eventually will pull away. And I had like a
24-14?
Yeah, somewhere in that area.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, the Falcons definitely should be the favorites. But I do think the Steelers will win this game. Is going to be because Russell Wilson, for one, is able to make some throws that end up being big plays,
right.
Whether it's down the field or just somehow, some way, Pickens just does what he does and able to take the ball.
Oh,
he's good. He's gonna play.
He'll play.
Yeah, he's gonna play.
He not passed up a starting job.
Yeah, yeah.
He might not come back.
There's no way he might not come back. So Russell Wilson is able to make some key throws to where they get Pickens in space to be able to make the deep plays or be able to make the short plays that he ends up getting the yards after catch to make it a big play.
Right.
Those would kind of be the two factors because Najee is good, but I don't see him having a type of game where it's like, oh man, he's breaking off hella runs. Like I think he's just, probably 3-4 yards, nothing too crazy. Like I think we can keep him contained. But I think that the key for the Steelers is their defense and creating those turnovers that amount to, getting in the red zone early and being able to cap off those drives. We saw Russell Wilson be able to do that really well last season when the Broncos defense stepped up in the second half of the season. Mm-hmm. So I think, the Steelers are a team that we've known them to be able to find a way to win games
all the time.
And that doesn't make sense. And it's because the defense is able to put the offense in positions to score easier. Yeah. So I think that the Steelers, like with T.J. Watt, like we said, and Patrick Queen and Minka Fitzpatrick and Joey Porter Jr., like if those guys make the plays in order to like force Kirk Cousins into interceptions or fumbles, which was one of the things that he struggled with last season before he got injured, with being I think he led the league in turnovers at that point. If they force him into doing those things, the Steelers can definitely win this game.
At least early on in the season, I think the Steelers team is going to have to not only just lean on their defense, but their defense may actually have to score early on in the year. And their special teams may have to be good enough to where they're able to put them in positions where they don't have to go 80 yards, 85 yards to score.
But this wouldn't be new. This is what they do.
Yeah,
the way that they've been able to keep up the last couple of years has been that way. Is winning the other phases of football.
So which is why we always say they have a chance.
They're capable.
Yeah.
What you think, host man?
You're done. You didn't even start, so
I let off.
Yeah, he let off. Nah, he got his stuff in too. See?
All right.
He was just talking a lot. That was all.
My bad. So I'm taking the Falcons in this one, but I actually think that this is probably going to be the first OT of the season.
First OT of the season.
First OT of the season.
A little disrespect.
Interesting. No disrespect. I actually think that Russ is going to be better than in all seriousness, I think he's going to be better than what he showed last year.
And that's based on what?
I mean, last year he played fine.
For half a season.
But I mean, that was
based on what?
That was enough to kind of, they were in playoff position before he, ended up.
I think that the Steelers' offense would be more similar to the style of offense that he's accustomed to when he was in Seattle. I think it'll be more, I got this big back behind me. I'm going to hand it off. I'm going to do stuff out of play action. I have some physical wide receivers out on the perimeter. Pickens.
And who else?
Yeah, I'm about to say just Pickens.
Yeah. Okay. You said receivers.
Yeah, I'm like, it's
not big.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Rogan Wilson can block.
So I think he'll steady the ship, and it'll probably be, my guess, a little better than Ben Roethlisberger in his last year.
That's not saying it.
That's not saying the time.
He did.
Yeah, but it wasn't because of him.
Like he was far from
competent with upside.
Like when it was
like
last year when they went
but honestly, no.
Second to last year.
But honestly, you can say no. But honestly, you can say that year you can honestly make a case for Ben being the biggest liability on that team. That 11-0 team. They couldn't move the ball.
They couldn't throw the ball deep. That was their thing. They always think and dunk. And at some point, teams just got aware that, bro, like, we're not worried about him throwing deep. The one thing that I will say is, like, what you saying that, you think it would be like Russell in Seattle. Russell in Seattle was more athletic than the Russell that is now. So him being able to make plays outside of the pocket just isn't.
I'm not sure he's able to do that. I think
not only kind of past him.
Not only just the Falcons, but I think this year opposing defenses are going to force Russell Wilson to be an athlete. We saw that in Seattle. That's how he was able to make his calling in certain situations where he could go off script. He can scramble and pick up a first down, or even on bootlegs, rollouts, things of that nature. He had that trouble last year where he was not. He definitely felt more like a stationary quarterback.
We don't see him in that regard.
I don't. Right.
Like I think that he'll be a guy that can make the play every now and then, but it's never going to be as consistent as what he used to be in Seattle.
Right.
And that's the thing that I think gets him now.
Yep.
But I mean, obviously, if we're picking, I would have the Falcons winning this one. I just think they just have enough offense to put enough points on the board, and I think their defense will get to Russ and stop the run enough to be able to pull out the win.
I got the Falcons too. I also want to see how the Steelers utilize Warren and Najee and see what that dynamic is like. I don't know.
Warren's he had the injury, so I'm not even sure if he's playing for sure.
I think he'll play.
He's on the injury report. That's what I'm saying. I just don't know because
I don't think he'll be 100.
He stopped playing in the preseason games and he wasn't practicing.
And has Najee peaked? Is he going to take a step forward?
I mean, he's just a consistent 1,000-yard guy. He's not. I don't think he's going to be better than what he is. I don't think he's going to be worse. I think he's just going to be consistent 1,000-yard guy that just 40 yards
this game. That's not going to be enough.
The issue that I have with that is the fact that I don't even know if we're really going to be able to see a certain level of potential from Najee this year because of the quarterback issue. Because most opposing defenses are going to go into these games saying we're going to take Najee away and we're going to force Russ to throw the ball around the yard.
See, that's what they've been doing for the past few years.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this is another season from Najee where he averages maybe like 4.1, 4.2 yards a carry. Like it's low.
I mean, that's what he usually does.
He still has 1,000 yards, but it's one of those things where it's like it's not a spectacular 1,000 yards. And it's mainly because of the fact that defenses are keying in on him and saying, we're going to force Russ to throw the ball 30 plus times. We're going to force Justin Fields to throw it 30 plus times. I also feel all this talk about a package for Justin Fields, this is nothing Mike Tomlin has done in his career.
Never.
So to
He never had.
Well, right. But that's, to me, I think that's a problem. It's you're going into week one and you're already talking about playing two quarterbacks. Like he's never done
it could be a weapon, but it's smooth.
In my head, it reminds me of when Andy Reid did this with Vic and Donovan, and they just had packages for Vic to do.
Like, why would you? If you're,
it never really utilized Vic the proper way as when he actually became the starter.
Because it also allows teams to focus on those packages for these quarterbacks.
But if you're so confident in your QB1, why does your QB2 need to see the field? That's the thing.
Well, because it just brings a dynamic that the QB1 will never. Right.
But you shouldn't want to take your QB1 off the field.
Right. That's the thing.
I mean, because you got to think like we've seen this when quarterbacks get older, like you said, with Donovan and Michael Vick. We also saw it with Drew Brees and Taysom Hill, where they're like, once that quarterback stops being at that peak that he used to be, that's when we see guys that use these packages.
But I think we see that as like, oh, okay, they're throwing a wrench in the plan, when in actuality, it's a problem. Because you're looking at your QB1 and saying, I can't depend on him for 4 quarters. I got to put QB2 on the field
now
to get some juice on the offense.
Now, granted, both of those teams actually ended up having fine seasons. The Saints still went to the playoffs, and Eagles still went to the playoffs. Now, Eagles never hit the heights that they were going to the NFC Championship and stuff like that, but they were still playoff teams.
If you're going to do it, the way that the Saints did it, where they deployed Taysom Hill, it's not going to be a 50-50 split. Like, even a 75-25 split. It'll be like maybe
it's like a 95-5. 95.
You know what I'm saying? Like 6 plays max.
But the one thing that we figured out as Falcons fans when we watched that, because we watched, not only did Taysom Hill had the package on the field, but Taysom Hill was taking more deep shots than Breeze. And that's why we were able to figure out, like, okay, maybe that's why the package is there, because Breeze doesn't have the arm strength anymore.
I mean, that's true.
That's why I think
that was unique to that situation.
Right. And I think this is something similar where it's like, okay, Russ is the starter. I think Russ was being named the starter because he had no choice. You basically gave him the starting job when you said he's in the pole position.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with racing, when you hear pole position, he's in the lead.
Like Justin would have had to came out.
He would have had to come out guns blazing.
Right. That's really all it is. It's less messy.
So that's how I see it now, where it's like you're talking about putting Fields on the field for what?
But in terms of passing plays, the only difference that Justin Fields really adds is that running ability and being able to have scripted runs for your quarterback. I feel like in terms of the plays that they can run, it's going to be very similar both ways. I don't think like maybe I don't know if Russ's deep ball has declined.
If I'm an opposing defensive coordinator and I see Justin Fields on the field, I'm dropping 8 in coverage and I say, beat me with your brain. You want to beat me with your athleticism. You're one of the best athletes on the field when you're on the field. But now I want to make you think as a quarterback. I'm going to show you man, but I'm going to roll into cover 2 after the snap. Now you got to think. And that's where
React after the snap.
Exactly. That's where Justin has had issues, where he's had to
see
one thing. He holds on to the ball forever. Next thing you know, it's a turnover, or it's one of those issues where it's like he's not making the right decisions.
So last note before we move on, Mikhail, I told him I'd relay his message. He thinks the calf injury is more serious than what's being led on. He doesn't think he's going to play. He thinks that Fields is going to get the head nod to start, and he thinks it's going to be a wrap for Russ at that point. And then he thinks that the Steelers are going to go and get Dak next year.
What was? Oh, that's different. Yeah. What was my? But what was? I don't know if you guys remember my message all offseason.
Be looking for him.
Was that I felt like, me personally, I felt like Justin was going to beat him out in training camp. Like I just had that feel like Russ was not going to be the long term guy, even for this season. I felt like Justin was going to beat him out and end up being on the field a lot more than Russ. And this could be the case.
Yeah, it was definitely closer to like a Jacoby Brissett type situation than a Russ is going to finish the season type situation.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Let's talk tomorrow night. Big game.
In Brazil.
Yes, in Brazil. We got Packers.
Sao Paulo.
Jordan Love going off against Hurts.
I've seen a lot.
We got a lot of drama on the Eagles side of things. They clearly don't want to be there. They just keep on voicing that they don't want to be there.
Yeah, that has been a thing. And
I don't know why they... Boy, if you don't just go to the game and play the game and make your millions and come home, like, what are we talking about?
I think, to be honest,
I think they're a little...
Just a 1 hour time difference.
I think it's the uneasiness of being... It's the uneasiness of being in that country.
Like, well, it's weird that you didn't wear green. Like, that's weird.
No,
that's BS.
What happened with Ricky?
They weren't green. Yeah.
Oh,
that doesn't help. Having situations where you just seen someone who was trying to get robbed for their rollie.
No,
you feel me? Like, it doesn't add to
he said that's a lot.
No.
Yeah, the colors
was like, obviously, like the theft. That's a thing. But I'm saying, like, green, not being able to wear green.
That's fabricated.
That's not.
Yeah, that was fabricated.
So, but I will say though that I think that one of the things that probably put this like in this way is obviously like they saw the theft when they had the F1 event. I think it was, but I think it's also like they know that they're not able to like go out and do stuff and explore like they would if they went to London or Mexico. Yep. So it's like now you're just like, oh, I'm going to this new country.
You're restricted to your hotel room.
So being restricted is like, well, I don't really want to be here because I can't even do anything.
Right. Yep.
So I do get that aspect, as being an added layer to why they have voiced that, man, really not. It's just a game. Not really crazy to be here, whatever.
See the food, little coach, little dance.
I think this is a very interesting dynamic because you have a young team in the Packers, who's arguably the youngest team in the league on both sides of the ball, to be quite honest with you. And then you have an Eagles team full of veterans, even though they've had a number of guys that retired this offseason, Fletcher Cox, Jason Kelsey, but they still have guys that's been on the squad for a little while. You have guys that's been in that locker room for a minute. I think it's an interesting dynamic when you add in that it's an international game. So how does this young team who's never been at this, how do they cope with something like this? When it's an Eagles team who's, they've seen a few games in their career. They may not have played internationally, but they've seen a few games in their career. So how do they handle this dynamic of traveling to a different country and playing? I'm always interested in international games because of the travel dynamic and how, honestly, you can lose a game like that simply being on a plane too long or traveling to a different country at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? Where
we just seen it with the Olympics.
Right. I'm always interested in this. So it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams with these two distinctive dynamics, how they handle that particular aspect.
I feel like the Eagles, like you were saying, young team versus veteran team. I feel like the Eagles are just more built for this moment. I feel like the way that we've been speaking on them throughout the offseason, in terms of the pressure on Sirianni, you brought in two coordinators who couldn't get the job done. Then you add Saquon. And having Saquon as a
you say young team versus veteran, but I don't view the Eagles as veteran.
That's fair. It's more.
I feel like they're both pretty young.
But when you got to the Super Bowl, you have more experience in those big moments.
How long has AJ Brown been in the league? How long has Lane Johnson been in the league? How long has Jalen himself been in the league?
I feel like both sides have players who've been in the league quite a while, but like a lot of the star power people.
Okay, I'll put it to you.
Been in the league.
More of the experience on the field.
I'll put it to you this way: how many Packers?
All in their 20s,
but how many Packers starters are still in their rookie contracts, and how many Eagle starters are still in their rookie contracts? Like that's the difference.
It's more like Jaden Reed is his second year. Christian Watson is his third year. You got Jordan Love his second season starting. Like it's more of those situations.
Like everybody in terms of like wide receiver first contract, running back second contract, quarterback first contract, tight ends both tight ends first contract. Then you have a few offensive linemen in rookie contract. Like
it's a lot of
you do have. Like even though they
semantics,
because they're all in their 20s.
But that's why they were also, remember, they were the youngest team in the playoffs
to ever make the
playoffs, and that was like, man, that was crazy right there on his own. So.
Yeah, but I do think that this game is going to be a offensive game because I think that for one, new Packers DC coming from college. Like, I know he's going to probably try a lot of things, but he's still learning what's good for this defense and what's not. Mm-hmm. So I feel like the Eagles have a chance to do some big things there, especially with Saquon Barkley. I also think that on the Eagles' point of view on their defense is, man, we still got to know if their secondary is going to be good enough, especially their corners. Mm-hmm. And going up against this Packers offense that have all their receivers intact for the first time since they've been, together where all their receivers are healthy to start the season. You added a dynamic back in Josh Jacobs.
Christian Watson got his hamstring doctor or hamstring plan or whatever.
He did. So they figured out he had a little less muscle mass in one hamstring, so he spent the entire offseason.
Yeah. Seriously?
Yeah, he went to a doctor to figure it out.
Oh wow!
Less muscle mass, so he's been working out to try and equal it out to the other.
Yeah. So he's been doing a lot of one leg squats.
So one of the things that Matt LaFleur said today is he said that he felt like coming into the season last year, he felt like he held the offense back, and once he let them do their thing, then that's when they started being the offense that we have came to see in the second half of the season. So with that being the case, it's like, okay, well, if they continue to be that type of offense, now we're seeing, okay, this Eagles secondary is challenged, and we, feel like the only players in the secondary that we feel really good about, honestly, is just Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. But like even Darius Slay, we felt like took a step back. Obviously, Bradbury took a step back, and he's injured. You have the two rookies.
Took a couple steps back.
You have the two rookies.
He needs to
you have the two rookies. You have
they got the two corners.
Anthony Maddox,
their first two picks. It's James Bradbury borderline closer to cut than being a.
Yeah, it's going to be an offensive game to me, and I think it's just whatever defense makes the necessary stops. You're definitely going to look at the pass rush for both teams as and then you got Jair that could probably make a play with the Packers, but yeah, it's going to be an offensive battle for me.
I definitely think Eagles' defensive line is the bigger X factor in this game because I think there's enough talent there that if they were all able to click on all cylinders, that could be a unit that could truly affect an entire game. You got a guy like Jalen Carter. You got Jordan Davis. Remember, they added Bryce Huff this offseason. Mm-hmm. Still have Josh Sweat. Still have Brandon Graham. Like, there's still some key pieces on this D-line. And if they're able to play to their potential, I think they can definitely affect this game tremendously in favor of the
I do feel like with the Eagles picks, they hadn't been hitting like they wanted, except for Jalen Carter. Right. Like Jordan Davis has showed flash. Right. Nolan Smith. We're gonna see what these corners are hitting for, but I feel like the hype hasn't been met with these pieces that have been coming out the draft. Yeah. They're still there. He's got time.
So, little nuggets of facts here coming in from Jeremy Goldstein. Shout out to him for giving us a little bit. The Packers hotel is 2 hours away
from the game.
Yes, from Fields.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the Eagles are right next to it.
Oh.
And the Eagles are the ones, again, who are doing all the complaining. And the Packers ain't saying nothing. And you guys are saying that the Eagles are the
like
best.
Eagles fans.
And the young,
makes sense.
you expect the young ones, if we're going off of young youth, and you're saying if the Packers are youthful, they got a longer travel, they not complaining.
I blame that.
But the old ones who are right next to the place, hey, shut up.
It could be because they don't know no better. That's why they ain't complaining. Because I'll tell you this: if my hotel is 2 hours away from the stadium, I'm complaining. I'm sorry. What is this?
Should be able to parody. Like, this is his
now,
bit. Like, this is miles.
To answer Mikhail, because Mikhail asked why the NFL would have a game in a populated with gang activity. Well, the reason is because they don't give a damn.
That's the name.
And also, if they cared about gang activity, there's a lot of games that wouldn't be played here in this country.
It's right. It's
like that.
I think
it doesn't matter to them.
Goodell has his eyes on being able to say, I have placed an NFL game in every continent that you can think of. You know, they played in Europe, of course. I would not be surprised if in the next several years or so, we're talking about, oh, they got a game in South Africa.
They breaking out.
Hey, look,
England to Germany.
Yeah, like I wouldn't be surprised. And I remember because I was talking about this at work. I've said it for a while. Like I would not be surprised at some point, as long as Cordell is commissioner, we see an international Super Bowl. It may sound crazy.
I think it's crazy, but
it may sound crazy. But if you just think about, man, the amount of revenue,
Americans would be really upset. That's
they would be, but
you're upsetting your foundation.
But you know who wouldn't be? Roger Goodell. All that money. We
still gonna watch.
You see what they pull in from a Patriots Colts London game. Even then, the ratings are like. Even then, the ratings are like, yo.
But you gotta think though. But that's on a Sunday.
But all right. So here's my thing. I would like to know what they charge for those games in comparison to what they charge for Super Bowl.
But concerts and stuff has been cheaper.
Who is going to? Because are you lowering the price? Or are you charging the same price that you would charge us over here? Because
here's the thing. Like
I don't think they're gonna pay.
Yeah, but it's
that
so
price over there.
Right, they don't have the love.
Like, you got over there, and then you got
it's so popular over. Like they always sell out. They sell out every London game.
Yeah, but
no matter the teams, it doesn't.
The cost is different.
Could be different. No, but what I'm saying is, at least internationally, the fans are going to go. It doesn't matter.
But you got to think, you have,
especially if it's a Super Bowl,
they can track metrics and things of that nature with fans in each country. If two teams where the teams that are there aren't popular in that area, they can project that okay, maybe the fans in terms of the love, how you would have it here, it's like okay, you can get it from this and that. I don't think that it would be the same.
Chiefs Dolphins was a sellout in Germany.
The prices are for hundreds, but now for the Super Bowl, you know the lowest price. I mean,
we haven't seen.
So that's
yeah, but I don't know. They may be able. He may try to kind of sort of like say, hey, we're not going to jack up the prices.
I doubt
no, because now they're losing money.
But we're still going to heighten. Like instead of saying thousands of dollars for a ticket, it may be.
Nah,
they're gonna. To me, the price would have to be higher.
And then the stadiums here are bigger, so it's like you fit more people.
It's not
over there. Not all the stadiums are fitting 50, 60,000.
You have to also take into account. The price has to be higher because you have to pay cost of travel. We got to pay now for
cost of travel. That means nothing. We've gone from not having.
In terms of can come to the game, it makes sense.
But we've gone
about getting my players over there, getting their players over there, getting hotel.
Hold on, but even the factor of we've gone from having one game a year in London to now we have 6. We have half a dozen games in London.
Baby steps.
It's slowly. Right. I'm not saying it's going to be within the next I'm not saying it's going to be within the next 2 or 3 years, but if Goodell is still in place, maybe 5 or 6, maybe 8 years beyond now, I wouldn't be surprised, honestly.
I mean, it's got to be something that the owners sign off on, and I'm not sure.
Man,
I'm not sure how soon
anything that puts money in their pocket, they will sign
But
off.
got the next few years Super Bowl.
But
it wouldn't be to like 2032.
To me, it's probably they'll probably get more pushback from the PA than the owners. I think the PA would be like, hold on, wait a minute. We're going to send our guys over there for the biggest game of the year. Like, yeah.
All right, let me move on. We got a 1 o'clock game that I think it's going to be a good game that's buried in the weeds here.
Titans Bears.
No, Jags Dolphins.
Shootout.
Definitely shootout.
First team to 35 wins.
35.
First of all,
yes.
So you're that confident in the Jags offense? That was where I first
given part of it because of what they have, also because the fact that there's Jalen Ramsey is dealing with an injury now. He's not 100%. They only have Jalen Phillips coming back. They still don't have Bradley Chubb back. And there's already been questions on that. Do we still know who's their CB2?
I think it was the dude from second year player out of Auburn.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, whenever you saw him with the dude, it's not a good name.
Yeah, his name is tough. But his name is hard. It's like Imaja something.
Oh no, that's not how I was thinking.
First team to 35.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's gonna be like when the Dolphins played the Chargers last year and it was a shootout.
Yep.
I think it's gonna be the same.
That was definitely in the 30s.
The difference between that game and this game.
To answer your question real quick, it is Kendall Fuller and Jeremy is not that. Jalen isn't going to be in it, so it looks like a Storm Duck.
You guys are
I forgot they picked up
Storm Duck and Ethan Bonner.
You guys are confident in either one of them covering?
To the last name starts with an I. Is he on the
Igbanani?
Yeah.
Igbanani? He's in Dallas.
Oh, he got traded?
No, he was there last year. Noah was in Dallas last year. Remember when Dallas had the blocked field goal, took it back for a touchdown against the Giants? That was Noah. He took it back.
Oh, damn.
I mean, they got Jordan.
I thought he was still there.
You guys.
He's a safety.
Does anybody?
Does leader amongst men?
Hey,
keep everything.
Not with my
someone else.
He's in a new system too.
You feel confident in Kendall Fuller covering Christian Kirk? No. The answer is no.
Roll of safety coverage over there.
It was a situation with Kendall specifically.
Safety coverage. I'm serious. Safety coverage to Christian Kirk.
He regressed last year in terms of his performance for us.
You guys
regressed. So I don't know if it was us. We have new pieces across.
I really think that's what they were going to do. I think they'll roll safety coverage over Christian
Kirk. So then just have Brian Thomas Jr. 1-on-1?
Yeah, until he proves otherwise. Yeah, he's got to earn that.
Who's covering ETN?
I would
with your safety coverage, with your bracketing. Who's covering ETN out of the backfield?
He wants to run.
You're gonna have to go nickel. You're not gonna go. I would assume you go nickel.
I mean, yeah.
What that means? So that means Storm Duck is going to be covering ETN.
Who's there?
No, he said no. He would be on Brian Thomas Jr.
Oh, okay, so who's your?
Most teams just their third corner. Y'all special. Y'all just got.
I don't know who I don't know who they're.
There's a problem, Cordell. There's a problem, Cordell. There's a problem, Cordell. Okay, there's mismatch issues for the Jags. For the Dolphins defense. There's some problems. I'm sorry. Who's covering Evan Ingram?
I mean, but I think this is why it's a shootout because the Jaguars will also have.
Yes.
Who's at home?
Miami.
Yeah, Miami's at home.
I agree. The Jags do too, but the Jags are going to have the same problem.
Like the Jags up front.
Nobody's going to. No one's going to come.
Who do you trust more, Mike McDaniel or goddamn Chip Kelly?
Mike McDaniel.
You mean
Chip Kelly's in Ohio State.
Doug Peterson, my guy.
This one.
Chip Kelly's in the
Doug Peterson.
Doug Peterson, thank you. I don't know why.
Honestly,
appreciate you.
Just gotta roll with it.
No.
Peterson.
Well, actually, you know what? It feels even based off of what
Doug Peterson.
No, I'm not saying it feels even based off of what they've done recently. But obviously, like Doug Peterson does have a Super Bowl. But recency bias, you would say it's even because both teams have been to the playoffs and both teams have.
But at least one side can say we've been more consistent with offensive success than the other.
Yeah,
the Jazz
sure.
have struggled to find a level of consistency.
For sure.
I
I
definitely
think
trust
if I
him.
was looking at Doug Peterson as a whole, as a coach, I would give the head nod to him.
I mean, but that's any coach that's been there for a long time.
Well, no,
But that's also any coach that has a ring,
to me has proven.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's been on teams where they've proven to beat good teams consistently.
The way that Mike McDaniel
hasn't proven that he can do
But
that.
how putting the position.
But Doug Peterson on the Jags specifically, then I'm like, okay, it levels out a little bit more.
That's why I say recency.
But how much
more,
longer?
for me, it's more than how the Dolphins are built and how Mike McDaniel has been able to craft skill players to match the offense he's trying to run, adding motion, being able to use speed. People position.
But it's interesting. This is year 3 with the Doug Peterson, Trevor Lawrence marriage, right? How much longer do we need to find consistency? Like, I feel like
Who do you blame?
That was my next question.
I think it's a little bit of both.
No, well, that was not my question. I said
that was where I was.
I think it's a little bit of both.
Right.
I think, Trevor has struggled on the field. He hasn't necessarily looked like the number 1 pick. He hasn't looked awful, but he also hasn't looked like
he doesn't look good now this year. Is he a bust?
I mean, he's looked
like
he's been an above average quarterback.
We've seen a bust at number 1. He ain't Jamarcus Russell. Okay, that's bust.
Like, he's still a starting quarterback in this league.
Yes,
but Jamarcus Russell didn't have the same expectation coming out of
Yes,
college.
he did. Yes, he did.
Yes, insane.
Yes. Yes.
It's close.
Yes.
It's close to your toes.
Yes.
Close.
I'm saying yes.
Close, but Trevor Lawrence definitely had higher expectations.
Trevor Lawrence was a kid with multiple seasons left before he got to that.
Same to me as Caleb's. Like, it is equal.
Because you thought that Trevor Lawrence was the highest graded quarterback coming out since Andrew Luck, and the other person before Andrew Luck was Peyton Manning. You were on that type of tier. Now, obviously, like, Jamarcus Russell was still graded as like a guy that could change a franchise.
Absolutely.
But I'm just saying that in terms of grading prospects, he was just a little bit.
It's our numbers guy.
You also have to keep in mind when Jamarcus Russell came out. At that point in time, a lot of people were considering him, even as a rookie, to have arguably the strongest arm in the league.
Well,
that's just measurable. That's like Anthony saying.
But Joe Miller. Joe Miller at the same time saying he's a third-string quarterback.
But it's the fact that you have that and you're drafted number 1 overall. You're given a franchise. You're given the keys to the city, basically. Like, hey, you're going to resurrect him.
Said that he was just like the most polished guy. They just felt like he ain't about being the most polished. They were saying he was NFL ready already. Like, you felt like Jamarcus Russell needed some time to get to where we projected him.
They didn't even give him time. They just tossed him out there into the fire.
No, I'm talking about giving time like after starting for him.
Let me reel this back in. I'm not trying to have an argument between the two. I was just saying that because of the expectations, if he just becomes an average quarterback to me because of where the expectations were, I would possibly classify that as a bust. But obviously, to your point, there is much worse that he could be.
Yeah, I mean,
so I will say, so that's fair.
Putting out there, there's some inclement weather in Kansas City now. The teams have cleared the field.
Oh, what kind of inclement is it? Rain?
Or is it a lightning storm?
I don't think they're clearing the field for rain.
I think it is a lightning storm.
Let's check the weather in Kansas City.
Sucks.
Hey, run the team. Go ahead, Lamar, Derrick Henry. Let's see what you got.
That gives us more time to talk some more sports. Gives us more time. Let's
Up
do
the middle. Hey, Gap.
I'm just ready to get
Right here. All good. You talk it out. Ain't no problem. What we got next, host man?
Sunday Night Football?
Well, let's don't.
Is that Rams Lions?
That is Rams at Lions. I think it's an interesting.
I got the Rams.
All right, tell me more.
I like the get back element of it. I feel like there's more of a chip on their shoulder. I think that it's kind of the same thing with the Lions and the Chiefs last year. On the Rams, I'm getting there.
Okay.
My bad. You're right. I need to start leading with Rich Stank. The Lions came into Kansas City last year, Thursday Night Football, and beat the Chiefs. Right? Yep. Chip on their shoulder, same type of energy. I feel as though with the Rams, they lost the playoff game to the Lions. Like they're going to come in. Matthew Stafford has more.
That's where the chip is.
Yes.
Okay.
Has the foundation with Cooper Kupp healthy, with Puka. You're going to have a strong running game. They showed that they were able to feed their running back and be able to control the game, and they still have an elite quarterback behind center, able to handle their business.
Elite?
I don't. Elite? Yeah.
I don't know about elite.
Who?
That's not no, bro. We already established that elite
So top
quarterback.
four?
is
Is it
top
top
four.
four?
You
Okay,
think
fine.
you
Like,
think
quarterback
you
who
think
got-
Jared Goff is on the doorstep of that top 4?
That's what I heard.
No, okay, but I didn't say elite.
All right.
I said elite is top four.
I didn't say
Matt
I said
Stafford is
doorstep.
better.
But
Matt
yep.
Stafford is better.
So
Wasn't there one of
I got the Rams. That's it.
Rams.
Oh,
I'm interested to see what Brandon Fisk and, you know what I'm saying, the Rams draft picks, how they replace Aaron Donald, how they replace that pressure. But I trust the Rams offense, and Matthew Stafford is back at home. It's not even a road game.
which one of you said that Cooper Kupp is not a wide receiver 1 anymore?
No, he's not the Rams wide receiver 1.
I said
It's gonna be
still the
Puka.
Rams.
It's gonna be
Nasty.
it's Puka Nacua.
Nasty.
It's Puka Nacua.
Nasty.
I mean, we're gonna find out. We saw it when Cooper Kupp came back. But anyways, we'll see it.
Puka was very productive.
But he had like 150 yards receiving.
Yeah, it was crazy. That was when I knew Puka was. He was one of them.
I think he's transitioning to be that over him now. But anyways, I think that it's going to be the Lions. The reason why I'm going Lions is even though the Rams do have that chip on their shoulder, I think they lost so much on defense because not only
line is crazy.
yeah, not only do you lose potential best defensive player alive and Aaron Donald, they traded away Ernest Graham, which was one of their linebackers. They lost their defensive coordinator to the Falcons. Ernest Jones.
Yeah, you said Ernest Graham.
Oh, okay, my bad. Ernest Jones, what was it, the 4th? Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, they lost him. They lose their defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's one of those seasons where defensively they're going to have to grow into getting back to being a defensive team that can help contend for championships and be in the playoff. So with them growing into that, I think the Lions have too much firepower on offense. And Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra, all those guys, Sam Laporta, they're going to feast. And I think that even though that the Rams will be able to score on this Lions defense, I think this Lions defense will make enough plays at getting to the quarterback and stopping the run enough to win this game.
That's fair. You want to go?
Well, not to mention also arguably their best DB from last year, Killer Witherspoon, is no longer on the team. He's still a free agent at this point as well. So there's still some questions that need to be answered on that defensive side of the ball for the Rams. I think offensively, they're going to be fine. I think we're going to see a great year from Kyren Williams. I do also like adding Blake Corum to this equation. We may not see his effectiveness in week 1, but I think at some point in the season, we're going to see that Kyren Williams, Blake Corum dynamic add to what they already have in the passing game. And I think that's only going to make them better. But I got to roll with Detroit here. The Lions are building.
Yeah, they're that team. I don't feel like they're the team that's going to overlook somebody, especially them week 1. You know, Jared Goff like to get his get back.
Yeah, they're building.
And Dan Campbell gonna have them ready.
Right, he is. And our last episode, I picked Aiden Hutchinson to be defensive player of the year. I think he's ready. I think he's ready to break out. So give me the Lions.
I think it's going to come down to. I think the Rams' chances of winning this game is really going to come down to if they can stop the run. If they can't stop the run, it's just going to be a slow bleed.
It's a tall task without 99.
Right,
man. Everybody else do it without 99. So it's time for you to figure it out.
Absolutely. For sure.
So
that's fair. They got a lot of young guys on that front.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If they can figure that out, then I think that they'll have a chance to. I give them more than a chance to win. If they can figure out how to stop the run, then they probably can win this game by a touchdown. But if not, I'm in favor though of. It probably may take them a little bit to figure
to get it going defensively. Yeah.
And this game isn't going to be the game to figure it out. So I'm going Lions as well. So you over there, my man, gonna be the lone wolf.
Oh, that's cool. I'm not as confident as I want to be, but we 10 toes. Say what you mean what you say. Come on now.
Kickoff is scheduled for 8.
All right, we go. I wasn't about to do rapid fire, but
we got time.
Might as well just keep on talking. Let me go. We'll choose another game here.
We had more time to talk about the Commanders. That's fine. It's okay.
We still ain't gonna use that.
So
we'll still leave them.
Bills Cardinals.
I was gonna go Cowboys.
Oh, okay. Cowboys Browns. Yeah, that's another great one.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a good.
We can quickly talk about the Bills. You know what I'm saying? You want to get them in? We got the Bandits in. We can get y'all in. C block.
We got time. We don't need a rapid fire. We just don't go ahead and keep on talking about these games.
Who?
Cowboys at Browns.
Cowboys on the road?
Very interesting game here.
Yeah,
the Cowboys learn how to win on the road.
This is a tough pick.
This is Deshaun Watson.
It is tough pick.
It is.
Deshaun Watson.
Because the Browns defense changed.
It doesn't need to. They're still going to be
changed
good.
for the worse.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh no.
Okay,
It's more of a question on the Cowboys being better on the road.
Defense is consistently being that dominant
with less weapons.
When 95 is out there, they're fine. It's just like
they still got Denzel Ward.
It's just like rolling out of defense with Aaron Donald. You're going to find a way to be decent enough at least. You got to play at that.
Dominant.
Like my only thing,
like the Rams, even with Donald, lost their dominance as time went on. And so,
but they also lost Jalen Ramsey.
Cooper Kupp was hurt. Matt Stafford.
Yeah, they had a slow wind down. Like I get why that happened, but I think like this one is tough because you really don't know what you're gonna get from the Cowboys because of CeeDee Lamb. Like how involved is he going to be in week 1, considering he hasn't been at training camp and done any preseason work all off season. So it's like people can say, "Oh yeah, I was in shape," blah blah blah. But like some positions, I just feel like, bro, you got to be at camp. Like I just feel like I'm not sure what he's going to give week 1, especially when there's a Denzel Ward that is going to probably be matched up against, and then you still got the rookie left tackle with Tyler Guyton. That it's just like he has to go up against Myles Garrett. That's just going to be a tall task. They can't. We don't know what the running game looks like because they have Ezekiel Elliott, who's like. I mean, I feel like he'll, be okay, but it's like, is okay enough? So I'm just like, I just don't know if they have enough weapons to really, to really go against this Browns defense that they play in man coverage. So plays can be made. You just got to be able to have the time to make it. Don't know if they will have it.
And the way that they've been talking about the
hold on,
graphics.
You're taking the Browns. This is what it sounds like. I just want to verify for the audience.
Your hesitation's crazy.
Because my only thing with the Browns is I'm just like, can Deshaun Watson make enough plays? And that's why it makes this a tough sell
against this defense.
Because I'm just like, well, dog, like one team I don't think can make enough plays with the other team.
There's no.
I also don't know if they can make enough plays.
But Diggs is back.
But Diggs is back. Another first team All Pro. So I'm like,
I wonder if somebody will move to the nickel.
Yeah,
Trayvon gonna lock up Amari just every play?
He could.
I think they'll both get their licks in.
So
Amari gonna get his.
So I'm like at this point I'm just gonna assume that whoever runs the ball better is going to win the game. So I'll just have to say the Browns.
You trust Rico Dowdle? And
I mean, shoot, how much do I trust Jerome Ford? I mean, he's good back, but how much better is he than
behind that line? I trust him more than he can.
I mean, I'm picking the Browns, but I just want
to throw it out there. The Cowboys are starting a rookie corner opposite Trayvon Diggs. And keep in mind that they did this offseason acquire Jerry Jeudy. Now, I know Jerry Jeudy hasn't been the Alabama Jerry Jeudy that we anticipated coming out.
Not even close.
But now he has a new change of scenery, has a fresh start, and again, he's probably in all likelihood going to be going up against a rookie corner himself this particular game. I think because there's a number of question marks on both sides, and I agree with you. Like, one side of the ball, you can sit here and say, like, man, that side of the ball is good enough to win a game. But then you question the quarterback play. The one thing about me, when it comes to the offseason, I want to go into the season with the least amount of distractions. The Cowboys have just had so many things go on that's not even a part of the X's and O's or just getting better.
This is very normal.
It
They
doesn't
come into most.
But it
seasons
doesn't
like
have to be.
It
They
is,
come
but
into most
it
seasons
is
like
normal.
this.
I will say that. I
Mhm.
give them that is normal.
Go ahead.
But it doesn't have to be. But it's like, man, you in the
That's who
offseason.
they are.
The talk all off season. When you're gonna pay that? When you're gonna pay C?
Let's do this.
And then Mike is coming up for
And
an
then you got
extension
Jerry
possibly.
Jones. Jerry Jones be saying,
And then
things.
Jerry just can't stay away from a goddamn mic to save his life. Like, my God, do you have to talk every week?
He loved him, man.
Oh my God. So basically what I'm saying is, but then again, to me, what's equally important is the, like, as you mentioned, the question mark of Deshaun Watson. What
Like,
Deshaun Watson?
I just don't know.
And it's even tougher when there's no Nick Chubb behind him.
Mm-hmm.
That element is gone. He's not going to start the season. He's starting the season on the pup. I don't even know if we're really going to see him until probably November. Yeah.
It's going to probably be like a week
October.
8.
Right. Nothing against Jerome Ford, but he ain't no Nick Chubb.
Nah. Nick Chubb top 5.
There are very few. I would say if healthy, I would have him number 2 behind Christian McCaffrey.
So with this
If
amount
that.
of question
If
marks,
not, he's number 1.
to me,
I'm taking over everybody.
to me,
Leaving over Derrick Henry?
Yes. Prime Nick Chubb? Yes. Absolutely. Go ahead.
to me,
Yes.
Wait, say it one more time.
I will take if
Actually, sorry, don't say it one more time. Go ahead. We'll come back to it.
I just
Okay.
want to say there's enough question marks on the field to look at this and say this is probably going to come down to coaching. Whoever makes critical decision late, that's costly when it comes to being aggressive on 4th down, when it comes to not being aggressive when you need to be, when it comes to, hey, you know what, going for a field goal when and quite honestly, you could probably get that first. Like, it's just, to me, it's going to come down to that. Who makes the first fatal decision as a coach is probably going to cost them the game in this. Yeah.
You're the Browns.
We have to take a team. So
I just want to let you know. I got the Browns.
I also have the Browns.
I'll take Dallas.
Mm.
Actually, you know what? I'll rock with the Browns.
I say you had the Cowboys missing the playoffs.
I did.
This start the way.
I'll rock with the Browns here. And I don't feel confident whatsoever.
I'm rocking with the Browns. I think that CD's not going to have a good game. I think Dak's not going to have a good game. I think Watson's going to have an average game.
So if Dak has an average game and Deshaun has an average game, who do y'all think will win?
Browns. They'll have a better running game.
Average Dak was second in MVP.
I don't even know. Like, I don't even know.
Average Dak was second in MVP voting.
I don't even honestly in this
because he wasn't average. That was the best season of his career.
But in this situation,
I was talking about Dak's average versus just you talking regular average.
But see, the thing is, even in this manner, when you have Zeke and Dalvin Cook, 2 aging running backs going up against, Jerome, like, I don't even think the run game is going to be good enough to give a team an advantage in this matchup. Because I don't. There's nothing about the run game in Dallas that says they're going to be able to run the football consistently and it's going to be effective enough. You got rid of you moved on from Zeke 2 years ago because you thought he was old, and then you bring him back, and then you bring in another.
He looks slow.
He just looks. Slow. You bring in Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook looked old last year, guys. Like, there's nothing about that move that moves the needle for me. It's another Zeke.
I mean, I still like.
I don't even see what a run game is going to give anybody. Yeah.
But it's small.
It's like small.
It's up to that line. If the line is able to protect them, create running gaps, all that, it's going to make everybody's lives easier. Most importantly, it's going to make Dak's.
But 95 is hunting, and even when Cleveland is on offense,
I mean, shit.
Michael's working.
Cormoa is also a guy that can make some plays.
Dak is used to having a good line, and if Dak has a good line and has time, he can make all the throws.
But Micah is just as good.
Man, but we've seen games where he don't.
Absolutely. But I'm saying having a line, we have question marks about their offensive line. If both their rookies who are starting,
I only have questions about their offensive line because of Myles Garrett.
Gotcha.
He's different. He's just a different type of guy.
So how do you think their rookies going to do?
I think they'll be fine, but their matchup against Myles Garrett, then they won't.
Okay.
This guy's defensive player.
A rookie left tackle. Your very first game is not only on the road, but your very first game is against.
Like, that's just tough.
Good luck.
That's tough.
Yeah.
You know what? So we we checked out Trent Williams and his, I guess, like pass rush losses, pass block losses, and most of them were against Myles Garrett.
Yep. Yep.
And he's supposed to be the best.
Yep. I think
that
might have been the only game in the season last year where he had multiple pass rush losses.
From one guy.
And it was against Myles Garrett.
So I'm like, I'm going to take that guy. If it's a rookie, take that.
I'm with you. Maybe my question is more big picture. Because, again, like you said, it really don't matter.
I'm like, he can just wreck the game. That's what I'm thinking about.
100%.
I'm like, if he can wreck the game, especially when you have a corner that's solid enough like Denzel Ward to be able to cover CD Lamb long enough.
We just don't know what the lineman going to look like. That's all.
Right.
But I'm with you. I'm betting on Myles Garrett before I bet on rookie. For sure. Sure.
I'll take the Browns, but this is probably one of the more least confident picks I have.
All right, next up, let's do the young rookie at home hosting your Titans. How we feeling about this game?
Your Titans. Who's your Titans?
Well, he had to make the playoffs.
You're the one who likes the Titans.
What the hell? Like me.
Well, because we're saying your Titans because of the Titans made the playoffs. You go
right.
You get the credit. Ain't none of us saying the Titans are going to do it, so we're saying your Titans.
We're going to be clapping for your ass.
We ain't saying that's your team. We're just saying.
No, that's how it sounds.
No. You're cheering for the Titans to win.
That's what. Yeah.
Just not against the Falcons. We see it.
I don't think they'll win.
Starting off 0-1.
I mean, didn't he have the Bears in the playoffs too?
I did.
So
somebody has to.
Somebody got to lose.
Somebody does. So break it down for us.
Damn.
You know, I think a lot of people kind of sort of overlook what the Titans did this offseason. I think they truly improved their team, especially given the fact that they have a rookie head coach in place now, Brian Callahan coming over from Cincinnati. What they were able to do, especially on the defensive side of the ball, you already had a guy like Jeffrey Simmons. Jeffrey Simmons is a game wrecker, okay? One of the more underrated players in the league. But you give him L'Jarius Sneed, you add a guy like Chidobe Awuzie, who I think, in my opinion, was arguably the most underrated player on the Bengals defense over the last few years. And I know Trey Hendrickson is Trey Hendrickson, but what Awuzie was able to do in that secondary, especially given the amount of movement that they had in recent years with losses.
It's easy to forget about when you have an elite edge.
Right, exactly. And I think that was kind of sort of covered up a little bit. So I think adding those two guys on the back end with what you already have in Jeffrey Simmons, you have a guy in Harold Landry who's been good. He hasn't been a star. He hasn't been spectacular, but he's been pretty solid. Arden Key complements him quite well, in my opinion.
Jamal Adams free throwing the box.
You know, in increments.
Yes,
you're not giving Jamal Adams 70 plays on the field. You're giving him like, I just need 20, 25. That's it.
Get a little more than that.
Nah, it's definitely.
It better not.
They paid him enough to us.
Oh, Jesus Christ, they're gonna have some problems.
About 40.
There's gonna be some issues.
40.
So I think that team is, in my opinion, they're equipped enough to make a run in the wild card, and I have them as my 7th seed this year. I think what hurts them, especially in this matchup, is not having DeAndre Hopkins.
He might play, but it's very questionable.
I don't think it's not going to be 100% DeAndre. And even 100% DeAndre, he may not be what he was 2-3 years ago, but he's still
he's a wide receiver too.
He's still pretty solid.
Yeah, he's a wide receiver too.
There's not a.
He's just he can't be the focal.
Yeah,
correct.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I think losing Derrick Henry is going to be noticeable. Losing Derrick Henry is going to be noticeable, but adding Tony Pollard, Tyjae Spears, I think these guys can be able to give you an effective enough run game. But I'm going with the Bears here. I just love what the Bears did this offseason on both sides of the ball, and I love how they have it set up for their rookie quarterback. They didn't just give him a roster and say, hey, try to win 7 games with no talent. They equipped him with a lot of potential. They gave him, you already had DJ Moore. They gave him Keenan Allen. They drafted Roman Doomsday. They added Gerald Everett at the tight end spot. They added DeAndre Swift at running back. You re-signed Jalen Johnson, who had a really good year last year. You already brought in Montez Sweat. You traded from him at the trade deadline last year, who also had a good year. I really like what the Bears have. Their season is going to come down to Eberflus and how he coaches. His coaching has been questionable, for sure, no matter how much talent he's had.
It really hasn't had it.
He hasn't had a ton, right? But there's still been some decisions made.
And they picked up Kevin Byard.
Right.
Granted, 31. But
man, he ain't do nothing on
so
the Eagles.
I'm taking the Bears here to kick off their season.
Brisker in the secondary. Kevin Byard doesn't have to be the anchor of your defense. You just sprinkle him in.
Just like Jamal Adams.
No, but Kevin Byard can cover. There's difference.
Okay.
He can cover. Jamal Adams can't cover.
I'm taking the Bears. He doesn't need. That's why I said it's spread.
Okay.
Anyway,
it don't matter. Even when he needed to, he couldn't cover.
I'm taking the Bears. I'm taking the Bears here to start.
I'm taking the Bears. My only thing is I just think that when you look at both offenses, I think the defenses are pretty comparable. Mm-hmm. When I look at the offenses, I just think that Bears just have a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure. Like, I've seen Levis have a great game. I've seen him just have some, not so great games.
Crazy. Like, the ceiling and the floor with him.
Yeah, but obviously, like, he was rookie last year, so it's like you expect that from a rookie. So coming into year 2 with better weapons, I think he'll still be fine. I just think Caleb Williams will just be a little bit better.
The one thing about Levis, real quick, we saw Levis last year go on the road against Pittsburgh. He wasn't lighting up that defense, but he really did make some good decisions throughout that game, especially for.
They was going toe to toe.
Right, it came down to the last possession of the game too. So, yeah, Levis should definitely take a step forward this year.
Came out the gates 4 touchdowns against.
Did you?
I didn't mention the team. I was just gonna say he came out 4 touchdowns. But then
somebody's going to Google and say, "What team did he throw 4 touchdowns against?" And it's like,
but it's true.
You ain't gotta be sensitive. I was just saying, this is last year's team. Y'all good this year. Come on, you good this year. You have playoff hopes, division hopes.
It's all right,
it's different. I know you do.
We are. Right.
I was just that was he came out the D-Hop. Hey, that was all.
D-Hop did commit OPI.
Okay, so who you got?
What they call? Who do I got? Who we talking? What I got?
Said all that just to not even know who to pick. It's crazy.
Yeah, no,
he has something going. Just like,
oh yeah, that is right. I gotta pick a team. Like,
I got the Bears.
That's how I know you want to say that.
I got the Bears. I think Caleb could have I don't want to say a record-breaking rookie performance, but a record-breaking
in week 1.
Yes.
Yeah, record-breaking.
Not Cam Newton type.
I hope not.
Start, you know what I'm saying? Maybe 3 types.
If he have a Cam Newton like. If he has a Cam Newton-like performance in week 1, that's going to make my Titans pick look a little.
So they for real.
What? 60? Had a couple tutties in his first game ever? That, I don't know if we ever did that. But see Caleb getting 300, couple touchdowns. Probably 3. I'll say 3 touchdowns, 300 yards. Caleb. Wow. Lock it in. Oh, bucket.
What you got?
Right on.
All right. I just remember that I got to set up my fantasy lineup. I'm getting used to this.
See, he's
no, I know my man. I'm not like
ready.
you.
Not ready. Not ready.
You got your.
You had to throw me under the bus because you was unprepared.
Well, I ain't gonna give you some more time.
Over there with your freaking problems.
Okay.
Why?
Why?
What kind of pick is that?
I don't trust Will Levis yet. He's got to earn my trust first and foremost. Now you're talking to me about D-Hop possibly not being available, and if he is available, he's possibly not at 100%. So now I look on the other side, and as of right now, all of Caleb's weaponry is at full 100% and ready to go.
Except for Keenan.
Oh, Keenan is.
He got a heel injury, so he's questionable.
Jesus Christ! You're not hurt, man.
I don't know.
Well, he unhealthy in the offseason. It's crazy.
Putting out the facts.
Well, he ain't playing. He's still injured.
Yeah. He was limited in practice, so whatever you want.
Jesus Christ.
For real. I'm gonna go ahead. I do like the weaponry a little bit better there. I think defensively, honestly it's kind of a wash. Like I could take either or. I don't think either one is that much better than the other. So now I really am forced to just look at whose offense would I rather have. And in this game, I think I would put Caleb ahead of Will Levis and my trust meter.
I agree.
And then, like I said, with the weaponry, so yeah, I'm gonna rock with the Bears on this one. We are almost close to it, so let's do a little rapid fire before we get to the game.
Got 23 minutes.
That we're here for.
Well, we're a little behind. Probably 21 minutes.
Yeah. So let's get to a rapid fire real quick. Let's do
Commander.
Ain't nobody trying to talk about them no more, man.
Fine, let's just hurry up and get it over with.
Bucks.
I got the Commanders. What are we talking about? I'm scared of no Bucks, bro. Y'all sleep on Jaden Daniels. Y'all sleep on our linebackers. We gonna go out there and handle business. Austin Eckler was unhealthy last year. He went with a little burst. You pair him with Brian Robinson. I'm not concerned. Sam Cosby finna be all pro. I want to hit. Go ahead.
Who covering Mike Evans?
You asking the wrong questions. Go ahead.
I'm asking these are the right questions. Who's covering Mike Evans? You gonna answer or no?
I don't know. I'll find out when you.
Who's covering Chris Godwin?
If I don't know Mike Evans, I don't know.
Commissioner, we're gonna have to talk. Your sleeper won't allow me to do stuff until the game ain't started.
I told
it's
you.
probably because it locked at 8:15.
You can't trust him.
Lock that. You need to change.
I told you can't trust him as a commissioner. You can't trust him as a commissioner.
First of all,
so you need.
Who has the power to it?
So,
You not started.
Exactly.
Oh.
Tomato.
You're not even in that league.
I need Zach.
Okay. See, because you be the one that don't be. You be taking all your people. That's your fault.
Oh, that is your fault. You booing me,
so
and you had.
So let me get this straight.
You're right, but I'm saying you putting this on me when this.
So let me.
What you want, bro? What?
No. We gonna do this. We gonna do this now. Straight. So this man had enough time to set his lineup, and he doesn't. And you get ready to open it back up so he can set his lineup. But when I ask you to change my draft order, you just gonna look at me something.
These are not the same issue.
Hold on.
The game, the pick locks.
We can do this later.
Filing a grievance.
The game hasn't started, so the game should lock.
I am finding a grievance.
It's your fault.
I'm gonna get you removed.
Back in.
I'm gonna get you removed.
Shuffle the draft order. He was 11. He mad.
So it's the error.
Commanders and Bucks.
Why don't we even talk about this? The
Commanders. The Commanders win this game.
I'm taking Bucks.
Yeah, nobody can cover my game.
I don't want to hit.
All right. Cardinals at Bills.
Miles already marked though.
Cardinals.
Whoa.
No, I got the Bills in the division. They got one. This.
Kyler better than people will give him.
No, it's gonna be a close game, but I think Bills will.
Yeah. This game to me is gonna test a lot of different things that I'm looking for in the Bills as far as the Bills are concerned.
Like what?
For sure.
Secondary. Well, the secondary I feel like will get tested next week. Like if they can't handle this week, then they're dead going against Miami. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
So it's still a test then.
It's a mini test, but the big test
is a quiz.
It's a quiz. Quiz.
Midterm versus final exam.
No, we're on midterm. This is a quiz.
No, it's a quiz. Okay. Boy, if he failed that quiz, he ain't ready for the twist.
Right. So quiz right here. And then the same because I know they're going to be rushing. So I also got to see
James Conner.
Yes, I got to see what the D line's looking like. See if they can uphold. So yeah, but yeah, I got the Bills as well. Patriots at Bengals.
Come on, man.
I got the Bengals.
Come on, man.
The Bengals
That's
don't
why we're
start
doing
well.
rapid fire.
Come on, man. The better question is, will Jacoby Brissett throw for?
Be something extra.
No, will he throw for more than 200 yards?
No.
Bengals. 200?
Bengals.
Yeah. Oh, more.
Bengals.
Wow. 215.
To who?
Jalen Pope.
Bengals.
Jesus Christ.
You didn't even say it.
Bengals. Sorry. I thought it was already implied. Colts. No, darn it. Texans at Colts.
Texans.
Texans, but I think this might be a little closer than many.
Oh, no. Yeah, it was close both times in the regular season last year.
The Colts have the capability of controlling this game. I would not at all
Actually,
be
you know what? Colts blew them out.
I trust the Texans more, especially after seeing Anthony Richardson go pick six in the preseason. It's preseason, Like seeing that and understanding that he's coming off an injury, he needs a little bit of time to acclimate. Texans have an expectation.
Panthers at Saints.
Oh my God, do they need to play this game? The
I'll
toilet
say
bowl.
the Panthers.
I think a meteor is going to crash into the stadium. And
I think Canal is going to have Bryce Young.
hey, you know what? No, I got it. We're going to have a tie. Yes!
Hate him.
We're going to have a tie this season. That's right.
I'm taking
Yeah, I want to say
this is the one game.
Vikings at Giants.
Vikings. And Brian Flores' defense don't get him.
Man, Daniel Jones is in for it. God, dog.
I like Brian Flores' defense and the weapons that they got around Sam Darnold. I like Sam Darnold's capable. I got the Vikings.
I'm taking Vikings as well. Raiders at Chargers.
All right.
Look,
I'm taking the Raiders.
look.
Raiders.
That's crazy. I was going
Raiders. You know what? This was a 50-50 game. I don't even remember what I picked. But
I think I
I'm
picked the
feeling Chargers right
I think I picked the
I'm
Raiders.
Chargers right now at the moment.
I think I picked the Raiders.
Minshew Mania.
Yeah. Better weapon.
But
Broncos
I
at
am
Seahawks.
concerned about
Seahawks.
Devontae Adams rumors.
Broncos
again.
at Seahawks.
Broncos, Seahawks.
Seahawks.
Yeah, I want to see
Blowout fashion.
Devontae Williams could handle it.
And
but
now,
Seahawks defense was
let's
great.
talk about the game
The game.
that we're about to talk about. We got the defending champs, AFC Championship rival. Well, the AFC Championship rematch. Ravens at Chiefs. Is this the ring ceremony too today?
Probably
Yeah.
better. Can't do it
So-
with lighting on the field though.
So, where are we going with this one? How much? First of all, who do you guys think needs to win this more?
The Ravens.
The Ravens.
I don't even think the Ravens do, because at the end of the day,
No, they definitely.
when it if the Ravens win, we're gonna still say, well, we gotta see it in the playoffs.
No,
No.
Yeah.
they haven't reached that.
I would say
No, yes, they have.
No,
Nobody. We just said no. But I'm just saying, in general, we have all said that, man, it doesn't matter what the Ravens do in the playoffs. I mean, in the regular season, we're gonna wait until the playoffs to judge them.
No.
So whether they win or lose, it doesn't matter.
But at the same time, the Chiefs, we don't need to see nothing from the Chiefs to expect them to be ready for the playoffs.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it matters for anyone.
It matters more for the Ravens. It matters negative for the Chiefs. It matters maybe you could argue zero. Go ahead, Cordell.
So
the Ravens. Yes, we did say that we want to see what you do in the playoffs. Yes, that is factual. But there's another narrative that is out there of can he beat Mahomes?
He's did it.
Period.
Once out of how many times?
Once.
He did in the regular season.
they've won.
People think that's a fluke. One time, a dead clock can be right twice a day. Beating him one time doesn't
Since
prove that you
not-
can actually beat him.
Not only just.
So the question is, can you beat him? Period.
Not only just.
Not even just. That's why when you said a second ago the playoffs, like nobody's saying can he beat Mahomes in the playoffs. They're like, can he beat Mahomes? Period. He doesn't have the same asterisk as Josh does, where it's like, hey, can you beat him in the playoffs? We know you can beat him in the regular season, but
It
can you
would
beat him in the
feel
playoffs?
more like a rivalry if Lamar beats him.
Since 2012, the Ravens are 1-5 against the Chiefs, and that one win came in 2021.
That was the last time they played him since the playoff game.
Right. So it's still a question. It's not only a question of can Lamar beat him. It's a question as far as the team itself. Can they beat Kansas City? Kansas City has had their number of recent years. So even if they win, so we've seen the Chiefs lose on opening night and bounce back. The Ravens need this more because the Ravens need to prove that they can beat them.
We know
I don't do it. I don't. It should be a thing because we don't.
If you hold on.
But do we ask if Joe Burrow can beat Lamar?
Yes.
Yes. Because they can't beat the Ravens.
Till I see you beat them, that's why I have to.
They can't beat the Ravens. Yes. So even if the Ravens lose tonight, right? And they don't meet again until AFC Championship game, are you going to feel confident about the Ravens winning in that time? You're still going to say
no, but I wouldn't feel confident if they won this game.
No,
anyway,
I'll feel better.
You feel better going if they lose tonight.
Because at the end of the day, we gotta say, can they do it in the playoffs?
But that's less likely of a question if they lose tonight. you're going to look at it and say, man, I don't know if they can beat them at all. It doesn't matter.
So this means that if we talk about the Ravens later in the season, we talk about the Ravens later in the season. You can't bring up the Ravens being like, oh, okay, going to the playoffs, you can be like, oh, the Ravens, they did this, they beat the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? You're going to list that as a reason for them being prepared.
Who are we saying going into the playoffs can beat the Chiefs?
The Bengals.
Just because they've done it before.
That's the only team out of all the teams. That's the only team but that's what I'm saying, though. It's like, that's the only team that anybody. Yeah, because they're the only ones that have done it.
But you're arguing for. I'm saying, regardless, even. But I don't think there's a wider spectrum.
It wasn't
for the meaning of the Ravens before the Chiefs.
But the thing with the Bengals, we've seen the Bengals beat the Chiefs in the regular season and the playoffs. You haven't seen a Lamar Jackson-led Ravens team beat them in both aspects. You've seen them get a regular season win.
Nobody's beating them in both aspects.
The Bengals have.
I'm saying, like, there are no teams in the NFL that have beaten them in both aspects.
All right, but here's narrative.
Correct.
Well, the Bills have a narrative, right? Can you beat them in the playoffs? The narrative for him is, can you beat them at all? The narrative for Stroud, he hasn't played them, so he doesn't have one.
Yeah.
It's just, so that's
every team has a narrative.
It's different for those teams because they haven't played him. So we can't judge him. He's 1-4.
Yeah, and 1-4.
So that's
regardless of the Zane situation.
If I don't think he can beat him in the regular season, what makes you think he can beat him in the? I'm not gonna feel confident in the postseason.
But I feel like we wouldn't feel confident in the playoffs regardless. You might feel a little.
We would.
You were last year.
But that's
until it happened.
But that's also why we feel more confident about the Bengals doing it, because we've seen the Bengals beat them on the road in the playoffs. We've seen the Bengals beat them at home in the regular season. So it doesn't matter.
Okay, but what I'm saying, though, is even if they beat them tonight, we are not going to go. If they play each other in the playoffs, we're not going to say they're favored over the Chiefs.
It's not about being who cares about that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like it doesn't matter.
No, it does. If they win tonight and they meet in the postseason, I'm gonna feel a lot better about the Ravens.
Why are you gonna pick the Ravens?
I could. I'm not gonna. I would not want to pick the Ravens if they lose tonight. I don't care how the rest of the season goes, because you're going to tell me.
I don't think anybody's going against the Chiefs.
I don't care. I don't care how the rest of the season goes. If they lose tonight, I'm not going to convince myself that a team that's 1-5, led by Lamar Jackson, is going to beat a 3-time Super Bowl champ. I'm not going to.
No.
So then you will choose against them. You did choose against them.
Yeah, because I don't think this matters at all.
No, but you just said you don't think anybody's going to choose against the Chiefs in the playoffs. But you did.
Well, yeah, because I'm the only one.
There will be. I didn't choose the Chiefs to go to the 3-peat.
I didn't either.
Did you?
But did you have the Ravens beating?
Oh, I had to remember.
I had the Texans beating.
You had the Texans
3-peat.
He played You have the Texans, but nobody's choosing the Ravens.
I'm not choosing the Ravens because of what happened to them last time. He'd have to prove to me otherwise.
I feel like even if they win this game, they're not picking the Ravens to be the Chiefs.
No, I'm not. Part of the reason, also part of the reason, because the Texans, I did in our predictions. In our predictions, I do have the Texans beating the Chiefs in the playoffs, but part of that is also because I think the Texans will beat them in the regular season. They play in early December in Kansas City.
If that happens, I don't know if that's going to happen. I don't know if they're going to be able to beat them twice.
I just feel that confident about the Texans.
Yeah, beating a team twice is tough.
It's tough. It is. It's tough. But I'm still rolling with it.
Okay. All right. Now that we've got that out of the way, let's flip it to the other side. How do we feel about the Chiefs going?
I just put Zay in for you.
Thank you. How do we feel about the Chiefs in this game?
I feel okay. I don't like that they don't have Hollywood. Despite the Ravens losing Patrick Queen, I still trust their secondary and their linebackers. You add Eddie Jackson to the mix, well, with Marcus Williams and Marlon Humphrey. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that the Ravens are going to be unprepared for this game. It'll be interesting because the Chiefs' offensive line is strong. So if they're able to control the ball with Pacheco, they got Creed in the middle anchoring their line. You know what I'm saying? Got Tooney on the upside. It's going to be like Trey Smith was an underrated guard last year. I feel as though they have the ability to run the game if they want to. I don't think that they will. I trust the Ravens secondary and their defense.
The one thing that has given me questions going into this game is, man, like, can the Ravens stick to their form? We saw what they did in the AFC title game, and they pivoted away from what got them to that point. They did not run the ball as much as they did. They were not effective when it came to running the ball. They tried to turn that game into a passing game. They tried to make it a shootout, and that's not their bread and butter. Can they just stick to their formula tonight? They have, in my opinion, they do have the components to beat the Chiefs. I just don't know if mentally they can handle the Chiefs right now. Because I think right now, the Chiefs are mentally in their head. They're already at a point where it's like, yo, we know not only did we lose this team at home, we lost to this team at home with a shot at the Super Bowl on the line, but then we have to turn around and go and see them to open the season. So they've been thinking about this all offseason. That's the only thing to think about. You're thinking about week one. You're thinking about first game of the year. All offseason, they've been thinking about, we got to get back at the Chiefs. Can they just mentally hone in and focus on what they have and try to get a win? That's the one question I have.
Yeah, I think this is gonna be tough, but like we said, hard to beat a team twice in a season. Well, I have the Chiefs winning this game, and then the Ravens end up winning the playoffs. So, got the Chiefs. I don't think the Ravens are ready yet, but they think they will be at the end of the season.
I got the Ravens. I make that clear.
I got the Ravens.
Oh, I'm a lone wolf here?
Yeah.
Wow.
No, you're not. But I said the Ravens. I mean, I said the Chiefs.
Oh, you're Chiefs.
But I said the Ravens going to beat them in the playoffs. So Chiefs are winning this game.
No, see, I got the Ravens winning here because I just think that their defense will be ready. They're going to come out firing. I feel like usually defenses sometimes are more ahead than offenses at the beginning of the season.
Yes.
So with that being said, I give advantage to Ravens in that scenario. That's why I'm rocking with the Ravens in this one. Derrick Henry, we don't even know what that looks like, so neither do the Chiefs or anybody else. So to game plan against that, we don't know because we've never seen it before. So that give them a little bit more of an advantage.
Would have thought we would have seen
So
Jack Henny hoisting the
it's going to
Super
be
Bowl
interesting to see exactly how defenses play the Ravens now. Are they going to? I mean, they already kind of loaded the box before, but are they going to go even heavier sets now? Possibly.
Especially going to rain, maybe.
But that also depends on how this offensive line looks. They have 3 new starters on that O line, and I think a couple of these guys were like late round draft picks that don't have a whole lot of experience. So it's going to be interesting. There's already talk about them rotating linemen throughout the year, which is something you don't normally hear from Super Bowl contenders. As far as like they have their starting 5 set in stone.
I mean, I'm going to be keeping an eye on McDuffie to see if he gets pulled out of the game.
What's their defense look
McDuffie?
like?
Yes. Because he's a slot. He's basically your nickel corner. He's your slot corner.
They always play like 5
So
or 6
he's not your boundary corner, right? But if they need to go because
he's the best player in the secondary. Right?
I understand that, but if he's not on the boundary and they need to go a heavy set and add an extra linebacker to stop the run, unless you got McDuffie running, unless you're saying McDuffie's going to help stop the run,
he can play.
Well, but I mean that's
heavier set.
He can
take anybody else.
I think the Chiefs die with that. Like I don't think they change up what they use.
Same as the Bills. So they live and die by nickel.
By what they
whatever.
Yes.
Switch out.
Yes. Because the one factor about their nickel defense is what they do with Kyle Hamilton wherever they put him. Because at times,
we're talking about
the Chiefs. The Chiefs. You're right. When it comes, but we've seen McDuffie play on the perimeter as well, and I think you mentioned Kyle. Right. But I think you also need his quickness because of having a guy out there like Zay Flowers. I think he can match up fairly well with a guy like Zay Flowers. I don't think you can really take him off the field. I don't know if they can afford that. I mean, they already don't have
it down your throat. What are you going to do?
They're just gonna
you're just gonna take it.
You
don't want to
add a linebacker.
You can
on the field, go from the nickel to the 4-3.
Is there who's an effective enough linebacker that you want to put out there?
I don't know who they're.
You got Tranquil, Bolton.
Is a nickel, but
I forgot the third linebacker. Got Nick Bolton.
No, because they can also they also use it to where it's like they only have 2 linebackers on the field.
Yeah.
same as the Bills.
So what I'm saying is like I think that they would rather do it to where it's like they take off one of the tackles.
Yeah.
So you have Chris Jones as a nose tackle, then you have the 3, and then you have more You add a linebacker without taking away.
McDuffie's
DB.
playmaking ability is just too good to take him off the field.
Yeah,
especially when there's no Snead out there. Especially when
I've never
there's no
seen them
Snead.
do that, so I don't see them doing it now.
I don't know Leo Chenal, but that's who's listed as their other linebacker.
No, I don't like that. No, I don't like that.
Born in 2023.
I don't like that. I
24
know
this
who
year.
Leo Chenal is. I don't like that.
Yeah, so I don't see them doing that.
Because I mean, you taking away a lineman does not help the situation. You're not getting heavier. You're actually getting lighter.
You are.
Even if I'm Baltimore in that situation, you're throwing Leo Chenal out there, then you know what? I'm going to flex.
And the thing is, you got to think they held up enough in the last game with that set.
Don't matter. This is Derrick Henry. It's different.
It's different, but
it is different.
But in this game, I think they will die by it. If they end up dying, and then the next game, if they play in the playoffs, they might switch it. But this game, I do not see it.
All right. Yeah. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. It's been a pleasure talking with you guys for the past hour and 40 minutes. Looks like it's time to kick off. Thank you guys so much for being here for the first show. Please like, subscribe, rate, review, share on all socials. We will be back here on Monday for Monday Night Football to get into all the X's and O's of that game. Plus, of course, rehash everything that happened from today up until then. Till next time, I am Cordell.
Marqus.
Deuce.
Be easy, be breezy, and please take it easy.
Shots for Tommy Kwan. Rest in peace, Big Dog. Fix your face.
I don't think he heard that.
Fix your